The round of 16 is off and running, and we have two impressive victories to talk about, guys. Welcome to the AFCON recap. Again, round of 16 is off the board, and we have our first two advancing teams. If you like this sort of content, guys, we do primarily Canadian and African content because we would be the Africans if we didn't do so. So make sure you let us know how you feel so far as we have our first quarterfinal matchup set up. Due to our two round 16 matchups, let's get into the conversation. The day started off, interestingly, with Angola defeating Namibia 3-0. Now, this game started off with a red card from Namibia with the goalkeeper who handed the ball outside of his box, an immediate red card. But then Namibia came back and returned the favor with a red card in the 40th minute, with Hakongo going off in the 40th minute. But then, before the story of this game was Gelson Dalla scoring two goals in the 38th and the 42nd minute to put Angola up two, and then Mabulu in the 66th minute, putting the game away, most certainly. This game on the pitch felt very even. You had Angola playing with their second keeper, but then also Namibia now down to 10 players looking at that. So it was very interesting to see how the game threw off. One team losing a goalkeeper, and the other team losing one of their center backs in their center back duo of their 4-2-3-1. So it was very interesting to see how both teams adjusted. And Angola was just the more effective on the night, especially when it came to putting away their chances. According to Google, we have possessions at 48 versus 52 for the victors, passing 75 to 79 for the victors, less fouls, less yellow cards for the losers, unfortunately. But you see that number again, the corner, 6 corners to 3. You saw a lot more effective pressure from Angola getting over Namibia. When we look at Namibia, a good run, able to qualify, but Angola proving to be one of the more surprises. And as we said before, now when we see how these teams perform, we start to question how their World Cup qualifiers is going to work, especially when we look at how well they've played here and how they're matching with tough teams. But they will have a tough matchup when it comes to teams they'll be playing, because moving on, they have now Nigeria. Now, the interesting thing about Nigeria is that going to their game versus the Cameroon, I wasn't high on them. I saw them miss a lot of chances. I saw them not be very clinical. But even though in this game, again, they gave away the bulk of possession, in this game, they had more shots and more shots on target. I think that's the most interesting stat to this game. They had 4 shots on target and 2 goals versus Cameroon, who had 6 shots, none of them on target. Adamela Lookman is the star man of the game, but I don't want to discredit the performance from Victor Osimhen, who was very active again in how he played. There's no doubt about how he moved, how that looked, and I think it's very important. Though he hasn't been able to get his first goal, an active and engaged Victor Osimhen definitely does more for Nigeria than him not being able to put it away. But let's take a look at these stats again. Ademola Lookman in the 36th and then 90th minute. The 90th minute off a beautiful feed. Honestly, it was pristine. You could argue Nigeria is starting to get into form now, but what's more encouraging to me is not necessarily how they're playing. Defensively, they looked solid. Goalkeeping wise, they looked good, but it's just now how they've looked more effective. What I liked about them in this game is that they put away their chances. It's as simple as that for me. Yes, you had 42 possession versus 58. Again, we can look at these numbers and think, well, that doesn't show much, because ultimately the shots on target show the activity and everything. And by all accounts, it just really made it feel as if Nigeria was much more active, much more dangerous on the day versus the Cameroon. Especially look at 3 corners, 4 offsides, trying to catch teams catching up. Now you can give Cameroon credit for getting them caught in those offsides traps, but you're looking at those shots on target and how it is. It looks very good for Nigeria as they start to enter in, because they'll be facing Angola in the next round. But looking how it is, again, we did see the injury to the goalkeeper, and that's something we'll keep an eye on for Nigeria. I do wonder how they're able to work with that and adjust moving forward. But ultimately, I think it was a good performance from them, especially from a standpoint of just putting goals away. And if they're able to do that now, a favorable match versus Angola, we're not giving it to them again. They have as good of a chance as Angola to win this game. But if this is the type of performance where they can play solidly defensively, but then now put away their chances, it's only a matter of time before Nigeria really are able now to put it all together. And if they do that further down to this tournament, maybe they are the team that we thought they were walking into this tournament as a favorite based off the talent that they have, but ultimately the chances that they put away. Now, watch me finally give them a compliment, mean just me dooming them. Maybe that's not the case. But guys, what did you think about Angola? What did you think about Nigeria in their matchups in the round 16? They're facing off against each other with the round of 16, and it looks very tantalizing. I think this side of the bracket looks interesting because now when it comes to teams, that bracket side is very interesting. To give you guys an idea of what I mean, look at who could face. Now, these matchups for their opponents after this go down to on Monday. But take a look at this view here. Right? Take a look at this view here as it looks. You have Angola versus Nigeria playing on Friday. But look at who they could play. They'd play the winner of Cape Verde, Mauritania, and Morocco and South Africa. This could be a very interesting matchup in the semifinals here, but we will see what comes of it. Now, reminder again, tomorrow we do have Equatorial Guinea versus Guinea, the Guinea Derby, and then Egypt versus DR Congo at noon and at 3. So I'm very interested to see how this turns out. Then Sunday, like we said, Sunday's tomorrow. Monday, we have Senegal versus Ivory Coast. I think that's going to be the big matchup, of course, on the Monday. And then Cape Verde versus Mauritania, that's coming up. And then the Tuesday, Mali versus Burkina Faso, and then Morocco versus South Africa. Very intrigued to see how these two go. But now we're starting to see the matchups break down, and I'm very curious to see how you guys feel about it. Let me know in the comments. Was Nigeria rounding into form? Is Angola playing well enough that they can be that roadblock for them? Or is Nigeria getting ready to go through? And which other round of 16 matchups are you excited to see moving forward, guys? Thank you for stopping by for this quick recap of what is happening in here at AFCON. And we're going to keep it here. Thank you for stopping by, guys. And until next time, we simply say thank you for coming here. And bye-bye for now.